Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to another TNInews video live edition. It is Wednesday, and hopefully you all are having a good week. So we've got, a decent amount of stuff to talk about, a little bit of ranting to do on my part. But before we get into all that, let's just do a quick roll call. And we've got Austin in the house. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. We also have John in the house. Nice to see you. One of our two mainstream Johns. We've got Hanzo in the house. What is up? And Hanzo, even though I ordered Crystal Ball figure minutes after it went up on Walmart, I still got the axe with the nice cancellation notification. Incredible. I got the same thing last night, and that's what I'm going to be ranting about in just a little bit. Zim is in the house. Luckily, he did get his Crystal Ball figure, so congrats on that. Sean Logan is in the house. What is up? Good to see you, my friend. Rick is in the house. Yes, my feelings exactly about Walmart. Leo is in the house. What is up? Rick is in the house. And as much as, Target, yeah, they sell out quickly a lot of times on stuff, but at least they don't have this bad habit of just randomly canceling pre-orders. I'm not going to say they've never canceled somebody's pre-order, but nowhere on the scale that Walmart does with these action figure pre-orders. We've got Hobgoblin in the house, 1985. Passiano's here. Here's our second mainstream John from Ireland. Good to see you, my friend. We've got, let's see. Hanzo says, new intros, bump and dope. Quinn's Comics is in the house. What is up? Hope I'm doing well. Your friendly neighborhood comic shop, Excelsior. Hope all is going well with you, Quinn, and your comic book store. Hopefully business is good for you. J-And is in the house. What is up? Comics 1017. What is up? Maurice is in the house. Good time zone to you, my friend. We've got Sean in the house. Good to see you. Walmart sucks. According to Passiano, Target sucks. Hasbro sucks. The whole world sucks. God damn it. Mr. Allmine is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, Walmart definitely screwed me on my Crystal Ball. And I will bet, I would take a bet that they're going to screw me on my 77 Spider-Man figure too, because that's supposed to be coming up. The ship date on that's supposed to be later this month, but I have absolutely no expectation that it'll actually ship, and I think they'll end up canceling it on me. Natural Nate, what is up? Let's see who Rashid is in the house. Keep trying to get Jameson, but every time he shows up on Walmart, he's like 55. But yeah, it's because it's that's another thing that I think really sucks. Is when these websites that allow third-party sellers to sell on their website, which of course they make money off of, they let these guys sell what is essentially their own exclusive on their website at like double the price usually. So that's very annoying as well. Navin, Target employees and staff usually show empathy and are helpful, polite. Yeah, I mean, this isn't any ill will to a specific employee of any of these retailers, but with Walmart, this is a situation, this type of thing it's gotten so bad that I think most people who collect action figures basically have come to assume that there is like a 50-50 chance that if they pre-order something, especially during these Walmart collector con events, if they pre-order something, there's like a 50-50 chance that their order is just going to randomly be canceled. And that's just ridiculous. I mean, if this was just like a one-time thing with just like this figure, the crystal ball figure, that it's annoying, but that type of thing can happen, from time to time. But this is almost semi-regularly now with Walmart, and it's been going on for years, going back to at least 2020, which is around the time they started doing these Walmart collector con things. And like I say, and I for the life of me, I don't know why they do it or why they haven't fixed the problem. um like if I'm looking at, okay, what possible motive could they have for constantly canceling people's orders for no real reason? you know I could think of, so a lot of these collectibles, you may notice, and we when we post links on the websites for a lot of these places, they're what's called affiliate links, which means if you click on it and you buy something, we make a small percentage of money for advertising. And you see it more and more on social media, where you got a lot of guys that have joined these websites affiliate programs, and they're pushing these affiliate links anytime something goes up for pre-order. And so I wonder if, like, Walmart's like, hey, we'll cancel pre-orders that were made through these affiliate links so we don't have to actually pay out the money for the advertising, and then those guys will run back when we relist it and make it available, and it'll be a clean link so we don't have to pay anything to anybody. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just like something that just crosses my mind. I mean, maybe they're trying to force people into their physical stores more so than buying online. That's another possibility. But I just, for the life of me, I really can't think why somebody would allow this to go on so consistently for so many years without fixing the problem. Now, I don't expect the toy companies, the toy manufacturers, to do anything about it. I don't expect them to quit giving Walmart exclusives because they make too much money. They're too reliant on places like Walmart to carry their stuff. So, they might mention it to Walmart, be like, hey, maybe you guys could see about not canceling people's orders. But they're not going to be like, we're not going to let you carry our product, or we're not going to let you pay for an exclusive, to carry an exclusive of ours because of this. So if it's going to be fixed, it's going to have to come from Walmart. It's not going to come from any of the toy companies, and none of the toy companies are going to say no to Walmart that we're not going to let you have exclusives, because, like I say, I think there's just too much money to be made from that. So, like I say, I really can't figure out why it happens, why they don't fix it, but it's annoying as hell. Passiano says he's your 77 Spider-Man. See, mine doesn't. Mine right now has a ship date. I don't have it in front of me, but I know it's like it's not until later in the month, like next week sometime. Like, I want to say like the 27th or 28th of the month. So right now, my Spider-Man is not set to ship, but like I say, when I get to that date, my guess is, because that would be the third time in a row, because I had this happen with the Faker figure, um, which I also pre-ordered during the collector con event early this year. That's when I pre-ordered the Faker figure from Masters of the Universe, the Crystal Ball figure from Hasbro, and the Marvel Legends 77 Spider-Man figure. So, but it wasn't just that. I've had this happen before. I've had it happen in previous years with some WWE figures and others, and I know there are plenty of other people out there, um, they've had the issue as well. So it's not, like I said, it's not just like one time thing. It's not just like me. It's not, this has been going on for several years. But like with the Masters of the Universe figure, what made that even worse was like, so they canceled it. Like the ship date that was listed came and went, and then like 2 or 3 days later, just like with the crystal ball, just like what happened with me with the crystal ball, um, it got canceled. And then like 2 days later, it ends up back online as in stock, which I then reordered it. But I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I basically, when I originally pre-ordered the figure, it cost me $30.03. I looked up the receipts, and it was $30.03. And then after they canceled that pre-order, and then I purchased it again online on their website 2 days later when it was in stock, I ended up paying $32.13. So they actually got extra. They not only made it more annoying for me to buy the item, but then they got a couple extra bucks from me by canceling my order. And then when I reordered, now when I reordered it, because it was in stock, it shipped out like the very next day, and I now have it in my collection. But like with the crystal ball, at least so far, it I've not seen it in. Now another, that's the faker, which is, you can see here, the faker figure is still available. Ever since they relisted it as in stock, it's been available. It hasn't sold out or anything. But the crystal ball, is right now currently sold out. Now again, you can see there is the option here where you've got this pro seller, everything for sale. This is not Walmart. This is a third party who has basically bought the Walmart exclusive and is now selling it on the Walmart website for almost $50. So that in its own right, I think, is, that's like double dipping. That's like Walmart. So they sold it. They sold the item on their site to somebody. Then they're charging that somebody to resell it at double the price. It's ridiculous. Now, one thing I also noticed with Walmart is sometimes you'll see something on stock that's in stock or available, but only certain people see it. It's like it's regional. And I don't know if that plays a role in it. Like I can tell you my local Walmart stores never have jack shit. Um, I don't know what it is about this area, but it's I always call it the Bermuda Triangle of action figures. There's like a force field around this area that keeps new action figures from coming in. So I don't know if it's like they ship these out from local distributing areas or stores even. And so if you're in an area that never gets anything new in stock, that's why you end up you never get anything shipped and always getting canceled. So that might have something to do with it as well. I don't know. But it's crazy to me. And like I say, it's not a one-time thing. It's not just one. It's not even just like one company. It's not just like Hasbro. It's McFarlane, Mattel. you know I've seen people have orders multiple times from various companies canceled. So it's not like just one company, like Walmart's just canceling Hasbro products or something, which says it's not Hasbro's fault per se. It's Walmart's fault, or it's Walmart's doing, because again, this is happening with different companies and different products, and it's been happening for multiple years. So, and I don't, like I said, I posted an opinion piece on TNI this morning about it, but I don't expect Walmart to really care. They're not going to fix. I don't have any reason to believe that they're going to fix this problem. It'll continue to happen. Um, I wrote the opinion piece more just to vent myself. Just like you guys, I just have a little bit louder voice online to do it with. But again, I'm not expecting any toy company to punish Walmart for this, and I don't expect Walmart to really care and fix this problem. And I also don't believe for 1 second that they're not aware of it, since this has been happening for multiple years. So it's not like, oh, they didn't know this was happening, and so now they do and they'll fix it. So That I don't believe for 1 second. I find the Walmarts in nicer areas are better. No, it sounds awful, but well, see, that's I mean, they're my local Walmart's in a plenty fine area. It's just they never have anything. They just don't stock worth of crap. And honestly, as far as that's concerned, that's not just Walmart. I mean, I can go into Target and they very rarely have anything. I can go into GameStop, they very rarely have anything. Back when we used to have Toys R Us stores, they were usually very poorly stocked. So it's something about this area. Probably because we're not near shipping ports or anything like that. We're kind of like, I mean, it's a major metropolitan area, but we're not near like the prime distribution warehouses and shipping ports and stuff. So I think that's what primarily plays the role in it. But and like I don't expect my Walmart to have those collector displays that people have been taking pictures of. We talked about that a little bit last week, which frankly I think is a slap in the face when their customer service is basically like this, where they're canceling stuff and then they throw out these little display cases in certain stores, but yet most of their stores are still very poorly stocked and stuff. I'm like, take your display case and stick it up your where the sun don't shine, because it's like that's just like a big insult to me, to collectors, because they're not really fixing the real problems at hand. They're just like they're trying to appease collectors and like throw them these little crumbs. Oh, look, we created these little dioramas for Mattel and Hasbro stuff, and so we're collector friendly, and we're gonna do collector cons every couple of months in the year and stuff and all that jazz. And it's like, yeah, just save it. Let's see. Yeah, my Faker figure pre-order got canceled, and then the very next day, I found four of them in the clearance on a local Walmart. Uh, and I've seen not mine. Like I went to Walmart this week. I don't go to my local stores that often because they never have anything. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna hit up both Target and Walmart, see what they got. It's been a while, and they didn't have jack shit. They didn't have any crystal balls. But I've seen other areas where people have posted pictures of Walmart shelves, and I've seen like 5 crystal balls sitting on the shelf. I mean, it must be nice. But that's not my store. It's not my area. I mean, I only have one Walmart that's close by. To go to another Walmart for me, I'd have to drive at least 20 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes away. That there's a couple of Walmarts, if I'm willing to do the driving. But I'm not. It's not worth it to me. I'm not gonna. When I was younger, I would do that. I'd drive around to different stores and stuff, but I refuse to do that anymore. It's like if I can't find the figure, if I can't, 9 times out of 10, if I can't buy it online, I'm not going to buy it. Or at the very least, if I can't go up to the stores that are close to me and find it, then I'm just not going to buy it. But I'm not going to play this game of let's see how many hoops we can jump through to try and buy these companies' products. So if they're not willing to make it readily available, or at least somewhat readily available, then I'm just not going to buy it. If it happens enough times, I mean, if I have to have a Crystal Ball, was not like a favorite character of mine. I'll live if I can't add Crystal Ball to my collection. But if that happens enough times where I start getting these holes in my collection, I'm going to just lose interest in GI Joe Classified and find something else to spend my money on. That's just basically what it comes down to. I know not everybody has that mindset. Some people are willing to drive all over town, spending hours on end looking for stuff, and but I'm not that person. I'm not willing to do that at this stage of my life. So if they can't make them readily available, then I'm just going to not buy it. I'm not advocating, I'm not one to think, oh well, let me sit here and tell you all not to buy things from Walmart and we'll boycott it, because I know that's not going to happen. If there's something you want and you can find it, you're going to go buy it, and I don't blame you for that. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, let's boycott Walmart and not buy anything from Walmart, because I just know that there'll be plenty of people that will, no matter what, will still be willing to buy from Walmart. And like if Crystal Ball pops up online, at normal retail price, then I will try and buy it again. I'll give Walmart my money for it if they make it available again. But or if I by some random chance walked in the local store and found it on the shelf, I'd buy it. But I'm not going to jump through the hoops, and I'm not going to play the games, and I'm not willing, like especially for like a crystal ball, I'm not going to go to the secondary market and pay like double the price for it either. So I'll just live without crystal ball. But like I say, if it happens enough times, if it becomes so frustrating to collect these things, then more likely than not, I'll just start to lose interest in the line and end up buying less and less stuff, which I think happens, does happen with people. All right, so that's my rant for the day. Screw Walmart, you know, and like I say, I hope they fix it, but I'm certainly not going to hold my breath. I think, like I say, I think this will happen again to me probably next week with the Spider-Man figure, and I think it'll happen to others as well. So, best we can do is just hope that, like I say, Walmart at some point has enough left over that they list it online as in stock, and then can grab it at that point. Daryl, I haven't had Walmart cancel pre-order on me, but I ordered something that's in stock usually for free shipping. I will only buy from Walmart or generally, I won't say never, but I usually, if it's available elsewhere, Walmart is like my last resort. Like I'll go, I want to support the smaller toy e-tailers over a Walmart any day of the week. Um, but obviously when it's an exclusive, we have no choice. So, but if I can find a general release figure, that's where I would go. And if I have to wait a little bit longer, usually I'm okay with that. So I will only buy from Walmart if it's essentially an exclusive. Or I guess there are occasions. Like I say, I'm not gonna say I've never bought from Walmart, but generally I will just wait unless it's an exclusive figure. Uh, Martin, yeah, unfortunately. Oh, you're talking about John. I didn't see what John said. I was gonna say, yeah, me contacting Hasbro isn't gonna do in regards to like this particular case with Walmart. It's not gonna Hasbro's not gonna be able to do anything, and like I say, they're not going to punish somebody like Walmart by saying, we've got too many people who are unhappy with you canceling their order, so we're not going to give you any more exclusives. And they're just not going to, I know enough about this business to know that they're not going to do that to a major retailer like Walmart or Target or Amazon. Um, they might try and scold them a little bit and say, naughty, 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 you did that. But beyond that, Walmart, these large retailers pretty much are going to do what they want. Lord Wanfu, and they fulfill. They just I've seen, like, I forget who it was, and I forget what it was, and I don't know if that was, I think that was Amazon. I think Amazon sent somebody a figure with no mailer box, and that was weird. I got a mailer box with mine. I think it was that Marvel Legend 2-pack with the crossbones. I think that was the one where they just slapped a mailing label on the actual, the normal figure packaging. Didn't like they had, because those exclude that was an exclusive, and there's always that white mailer box, and that's what mine shipped in, the white Hasbro mailer box. They just put the label on that, but I guess somebody opened it and just shipped the thing without even the white mailer box, um, and it showed up on somebody's porch. That's a little ridiculous. But I mean, that's a one-off thing. Like I say, especially with a large corporate company, you're going to have one-off situations where something happens where it doesn't ship well or whatever. I mean, that's just kind of par for the course. But with this cancellation thing with Walmart, it's with multiple companies, and it happens more and more, and it, for several years. It's just there's no justifiable excuse for it other than that either they've got some motive for doing it, which I really can't fathom, or they just don't care enough to be bothered with it. So, hey Alexander, what is up? Rick says I tried to get my stuff from Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon, 98% food and Walmart. At Walmart, I see. I don't. So for me personally, these days, toys, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, uh, Amazon occasionally. Amazon's usually pretty fast. It's free shipping, and so and I buy a lot of other things on Amazon beyond just action figures. So Amazon's probably these days is my number one place I go to buy things, whether it's clothes, what not like if I want a new pair of shorts or something, and I know what I want, or shoes or something, I'll just buy it off of Amazon because it's quicker and easier. Usually, something that ships from Amazon at most takes a day to get here. Sometimes it can arrive same day. Electronics I'll often buy on Amazon. So I do a lot of shopping these days on Amazon. Groceries I usually just go down to the grocery store. That's the only thing really in my life that I actively still go to a physical store for. And a lot of times I find I've gone to Home Depot. I'm like, okay, I'm doing a home project. I'm going to run down to Home Depot. Home Depot doesn't have it, so then I end up coming back after having driven to Home Depot, find they don't have it, come back, order it on Amazon, and it's here the next day. It would have just been easier if I just gone straight to Amazon and ordered it instead of, because like I've found, at least in this area, whether it's Best Buy, whether it's Home Depot, whether it's Target or Walmart, they just don't keep that much in stock anymore in their physical stores. So you can order it on their websites, but like if I'm going to order online, I'm going to go to Amazon over Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Home Depot, or whatever usually. So because they're just faster and it's free. So or it's free if you're an Amazon Prime member. But so Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth for toys. I've gone to Nerdzoic a few times. They're not even a sponsor, but Big Nerdy, has had stuff that other places didn't, and he's a small operation, but damn, he's fast. I mean, he's close by. He's like an hour from me, so it doesn't take long for something to ship. But I give Big Nerdy a credit um, for being able to ship stuff in nice and fast and stuff. So, and I also, and I've made this pretty clear. Unless it's an exclusive, I don't buy directly from any toy manufacturer. I don't like this idea of trying to bypass the toy retailers to sell directly to the customer. Um, Toy manufacturers should focus on manufacturing. Toy retailers should focus on selling. And I don't like the practice of trying to undercut that, and it often backfires. I mean, look at how much problem Hasbro has been having with Hasbro Pulse lately. For people, not being able to check out with credit card payments, and I've seen all kinds of people having issues with recently with HasLabs and stuff. And I mean, that's an exclusive. Like I said, if this is an exclusive, then again, we don't really have any choice. And I'm not going to say, well, just do without. Don't buy from Hasbro Pulse, just do without. So if it's an exclusive, you got to buy from them. But just look at how much issues they've been having with their website. Now, I've personally never had any issue with Hasbro buying directly from Hasbro Pulse, but then I always use PayPal as my method of payment, which seems to not have an issue. But for some reason, and this is something that seems to have been dragged out for months. I've been seeing people complain about this for several months now, about not being able to check out when they're doing Amazon or doing credit card payments on Hasbro Pulse. So I feel like I can kind of understand, trying to cut out the middleman and selling directly, but I think it just brings in too many issues. And I wish these toy companies would focus more on the manufacturing side and let the toy retailers work with the toy retailers, the toy specialty retailers who have kept this hobby going and thriving for years, work with them more and quit trying to sell directly and not give so much credence to Walmart and Target and even Amazon. And again, I understand those places were able to order a lot bigger bulk of items. So I'm not advocating that they should quit dealing with Walmart and Target and Amazon. But they should really focus, especially as these companies become more and more collector oriented, should really be focusing on helping build up the toy e-tailers, not undercutting them, which is something unfortunately in the last several years I've seen happening more and more with the toy manufacturers. Happy Butters Blast. There's a flaw in the Walmart system that third-party stores on there can put up listings using the pre-order items page. Then it lets them pre-order and scalp it a day before it goes live. That wouldn't shock me. I mean, and you've got the scalper bots and that's usually, as far as Target goes, that's usually where Target sucks, is because you'll have things that'll sell out in like 3 seconds. If you manage to get your order in at Target, then they usually ship it. They don't cancel it on you. But the issue with Target is that if it's anything in any kind of demand, it sells out almost instantly, like the Marvel Legends Psylocke Thanos 2-pack. And again, that one, some areas of the country, people went into the store and were able to fairly easily find that 2-pack. I've never seen it on the shelf around here, but and I was able to order one online from Target, so I didn't have an issue with that one. But again, they have very spotty distribution at their physical stores, and then with Target, again, it generally is, and I assume it's the scalper bots, because that stuff generally sells out way too quick. When something sells out in like 3 seconds, it's one of two things: either the store did not allocate that much product to online, or some type of scalper bot grabbed them all up quickly. But so I put Target, in regards to that, I put Target a little above Walmart, just because, like I say, at least with Target, if you're able to get your order in, usually you can count on it eventually showing up. Whereas Walmart, you're like playing Russian roulette on whether your item's going to get canceled or not. All right. Well, we do have some other news items I wanted to go over today. So let's jump into other news. So, speaking of pre-orders, we had a new McFarlane toy pre-order today, kind of new. So for their Batman animated series line, Harley Quinn and Joker, Mad Love 2-pack. I'm pretty sure this was something offered during the original DC Direct days, but so I don't think these are brand new figures, maybe just with touched up paint and such. But so I won't swear to it. They did a number of different Joker Harley sets back in the DC Direct days. So, but again, this went up for pre-order today. Big Bad Toy Store, last time I checked, had sold out. I think they've sold out. Yeah, they've sold out of their pre-order for this one. But Entertainment Earth still has it. Cost is $50 for this set. These are 6-inch figures. Amazon, also last time I checked, still has it, so you can order it there. I haven't checked anywhere else, but again, for you Batman animated series fans, a new Joker Harley Quinn 2-pack from McFarlane Toys. Not much else. Nothing really else this week. We do, on the Marvel front, have a couple of statues going up for pre-order next week. I'll go over that in a minute. NECA has been showing off new Turtle figures, though they have not yet gone up for pre-order. Raphael is Shredder. They showed these off at San Diego Comic-Con. So that one, these should be going up for pre-order soon. They just released the official images yesterday. From Mirage Comics, nobody. I don't remember this guy, but soft goods cape, some weapon accessories. He's kind of cool looking. I don't remember him from the comics, but he's kind of cool looking. And then the third figure is Cyborg Donatello. So his little party favors, his little knife hand. So I believe these will be available eventually everywhere that sells NECA Turtle stuff. Meaning I don't think these are store exclusives. Because these are all based on the Mirage comics. Now they may put them up on the NECA store first and then make them available at other e-tailers later. You know, that's a trend again that we've been seeing more and more with NECA. We already talked about Crystal Ball. I think we've covered the Snowcat pretty thoroughly here. Obviously, it was fully funded last week. All stretch goals were unlocked. If you caught the news video on Monday, you know, I talked about, or I think we also talked about it live stream on Friday as well. So, but the USB-C port so that you can keep the lights on all the time. Should be getting some type of, I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a white repainted Hiss tank at some point here in the fairly near future. Hasbro was teasing that again in one of their social media posts. So, you know, I don't know how they're going to offer that, if it's going to be like an Amazon exclusive, a Pulse exclusive. It's not going to be a HasLab. That I'm about 99% sure. But I don't know how they're going to release that. It's likely not going to have lights or electronics like the regular Hiss, but so it should probably be a little bit cheaper as well. Let's talk Masters of the Universe. So first of all, I have once again screwed up giving you information on this stupid early bird figure for the Snake-Lair playset. So this was 100% my fault. I made an assumption here. So initially I thought this was like the early bird was if you backed it by the 14th, if they reached the minimum funding goal by the 14th. This is why you got to read all the fine print on these things. So I apologize for screwing this up myself. But so first I thought the early bird was if it reached 14, the minimum, not 14, but was it 6,000 by the 14th, then anyone who backed it would get the early bird figure, which I thought was just the Lady Slither skeletal figure with the lower snake body. I thought the Lady Slither with the legs was going to be included for everybody. And I still can't believe that they're not including some version of Lady Slither with this playset that is her castle, that also includes a two-headed horse for her to ride, but only those who backed it by the 14th will get Lady Slither. That just blows my mind. Now there was a regular Lady Slither released a while back, but that sold out fairly quickly. So, you know, it's not like you can go buy the regular Lady Slither at this point. So anyone who backed this castle after the 14th is going to get a Lady Slither lair with no Lady Slither and a horse with nobody to ride. I mean, when you say it out loud, it just sounds so idiotic that they would do that. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Like I say, if they just did like the lower snake body as the stretch goal, I could see that. That wouldn't be like if you only got the figure with the legs, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Nice little addition piece if you were early with it. But not including Lady Slither at all unless you backed it by the 14th, just to me is crazy. Now this thing still has not reached its minimum funding goal. We're down to 7 days and we're at 5,960. So we still got 40 more backers needed to reach the minimum funding goal. And it has been very slow going. Like it got 5 backers yesterday. I think it got like 5 more today. Yesterday morning, it needed 60 backers. We're down to 40 backers. So I guess in that period, we've gotten about 20 backers. And Mattel sent out an email to anyone on their mailing list today, promoting that, they're under 50 backers. Though I will note when that email went out, they actually were not under 50 backers. They were still at 60 backers needed, but they are now under 50. So I do think this will fund because we're just so close. But it has gone to such a small crawl since the cutoff date for the Lady Slither that, and I don't blame you if you didn't back this in the first 14 days, I'd be like, why would I back this without Lady Slither? Why would I want this playset? I mean, I guess the playset, I guess you might argue, well, technically it's Lady Slither's playset, but it's a cool place to display my Snake Men. Okay, so I could get that. But like the two-headed horse, it's like, here's this two-headed horse, but nobody to ride it. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. So I do think it will reach the 6,000 before all is said and done. I think it's very questionable that it will reach 8,000 backers for the stretch goal, though, for the Pythonus Origins figure. I think, and because, again, these things usually do get boosts at the end, but now it's like, what is the incentive for coming in at the end? If you were going to back this thing, you probably would have done it in the first 14 days. There's really no reason to wait until the end because now you're not going to get the Lady Slither figure. So I feel like the majority of people who backed this campaign did it right before that 14th cutoff date. So I don't expect this one to it'll probably get a little bit of a boost, but I don't expect this campaign to get a huge boost at the end like we often see with these things. Because again, why would you? Especially if it doesn't seem very likely that you're going to get to the stretch goal. In fact, you might even see people start to cancel if they don't think the stretch goal figure is going to be unlocked. So I don't think you would have so many people exit this campaign for that particular figure. So I don't think it would like go below the minimum goal, but I think there's a very good chance this will not get to the stretch goal. And I just think the way they handle these are like I say, if anyone at Mattel is listening, stop doing these early bird things. Either make it a stretch goal or just include it with the playset. But I think you're shooting yourself in the foot with these early bro. I don't think they're doing you. I think this would have still reached its minimum funding goal without the stretch. If you just included the Lady Slither, I think you'd probably be closer to 8,000 than you are just still trying to get to 6,000. That's just my feeling. So, but again, as far as my information, you guys, I was wrong. I didn't read it closely enough. I made assumptions. So I do apologize for that. I don't like giving you guys bad information. So I feel badly about that. But I also just I'm still just trying to wrap my head around the fact that they're doing a Lady Slither lair without giving you Lady Slither. All right, other Masters of the Universe news. If you still need Masterverse Cobra Khan, that new Tila or Hordak, they are all in stock now at Big Bad Toy Store. I had originally pre-ordered Cobra Khan from Amazon because Amazon had put it up way earlier than anybody else. But I went on and canceled my Amazon order and just went on and bought it from Big Bad Toy Store. So again, if you want those, they're in stock there. It looks like that New Eternia Masterverse Mossman figure that they showed off at San Diego Comic-Con is going to be going up for pre-order on the Mattel. This is definitely a Mattel Creations exclusive. And it looks like it's going to go up next week on the 26th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's for Grayskull members. And then I think it's the next day for everybody else. But I don't think this will sell out, so I don't think you have to worry about that. But again, that's going up for pre-order next week on the Mattel Creations website. And then finally, yesterday at Gamescom, an overseas gaming convention that's going on now, we got this announcement for a new Masters of the Universe game that's supposed to be available on all platforms. So I'm going to play you the trailer if you haven't seen it. Hopefully I won't get like a copyright ding for this, but I'm going to play it anyway. So check it out.
At last, Castle Grayskull is mine!
Not so fast, Skeletor.
Whoa, what's happening? He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction coming soon to all platforms?
Yes, it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. Intense beat-em-up action that puts the power in your hands. Grab a friend and fight for Eternia with 4 playable heroes, classic arcade controls. It's powered-up pixel perfection for your gaming console or personal computer. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction, coming soon. From Limited Run Games.
So I've never heard of Limited Run Games, but I'm not a big video game expert, so that's not shocking. But looks cool. No specific release date yet, but a trend that I think we've been seeing more and more with a lot of these retro cartoons from the 80s getting new video games. We've seen it recently with Turtles and G.I. Joe. So He-Man's now getting that treatment. Like I said, it looks pretty cool. And I may end up picking that one up myself, assuming it's released for the original Nintendo Switch and not just Nintendo Switch 2. But it says all platforms, so I assume it'll be available on both Nintendos. I'm not running out and buying a new console for it, but assuming it's available on one of the consoles I currently have, then I probably will pick up that game. Jay says the G.I. Joe game is horrible. I've never played it. It looked cool from the trailers and stuff, so it's sad to hear. And you're not the first one to tell me that game was not that good. So that's a little disappointing that game didn't turn up. But I heard like the Turtle one, which again I haven't played, but I heard the Turtle one was pretty good. It looks a lot better than I had to laugh. Like, I don't know what the robot dinosaur that you see He-Man punching in the trailer is. Like, at first I thought, like, why is He-Man fighting Grimlock? So I was like, that was weird, because I don't recognize that as like everything else that you saw in that trailer I recognize from like the cartoon and stuff. But that robotic dinosaur that pops up briefly in one of the gameplay towards the end, I'm like, what is that from? All right, so that when we get more like release date information, I'll be sure to update you guys. Let's see. Let's jump over to Transformers real quick. I want to share. I don't know if any of you collect those blockies. Seems to have become pretty popular, especially with Transformers. But we got some new reveals on that front. So Metroplex is coming to the line, plus Unicron's head. There'll be 2 versions of Unicron's head, a translucent version and a regular version. Another Optimus Prime, Hot Rod. So, like I said, I don't know how many of you, if any of you have tried these blocky figures, but they seem to be getting pretty popular, at least in the world of Transformers. Speaking of Transformers, I got a couple of new. So I got just arrived earlier today from Entertainment Earth. So I've got my next Constructicon scavenger. So I just need one more Constructicon to complete Devastator. Mixmaster is the last one, which I think is supposed to be released like next month. Like, I think this ended up getting released early. I wasn't expecting it, but... And then also this one, I think, got released a little bit early, but 86 Studios Series Megatron. So I will be keeping him in robot mode, so it doesn't really bother me about the tank, even though I think they actually did a pretty good job of keeping his robot mode fairly cartoon accurate. I love the face sculpt. The face sculpt is like I look at that face sculpt and it's almost right, seems like right out of the 86 movie. So they did a great job with that head sculpt. The cannon maybe a little bit on the smaller side. I haven't opened it yet, but I feel like maybe his arm cannon is a little bit on the small side. But I know the legs are not 100% accurate to some people's taste, but it doesn't really bother me. And I also like the fact that they give you this gun, Megatron gun, that you can put in other figures' hands, which is what always happened in the cartoon. So you can pretend like he transforms into a gun and then has him like drop into the hands of Starscream or something. So I like that they included that as well. So those are my latest additions. And I think I told you guys, I ended up picking up, I didn't buy them originally, but I ended up picking up the 86 Studio Series Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus figures as well, just kind of to go along with Megatron. So Hasbro's marketing did its job. On the Star Wars front, rest in peace, Terrence Stamp. Also, of course, Superman, General Zod played the Chancellor in episode 1 as well, but he passed away this week. So, but for toys on Star Wars, so for you Droid Factory fans, we've got this new Probe Droid set going up for pre-order tomorrow on the Shop Disney website. I think this has already started to see release. Oh, sorry. Just noticed I did not have you guys on screen. So this set is going up tomorrow on the Shop Disney website. I believe it's already started hitting the physical stores at the parks. But Probe Droid, kind of cool. That's part of the Droid Factory line. Also, coming to Home Depot is a life-size R2-D2 holiday figure. So for your front yard, or I guess under your tree, like pictured here. So the Home Depot Mexico site put this up early and then they pulled it off. But so this is for Christmas, not Halloween. The Halloween stuff's available now, like Chucky. There's a Chucky animatronic figure that they're doing at Home Depot. But for Christmas, this one, I'm sure it's not going to be cheap, but kind of cool. I might, depending on the price, I might end up getting this for the front yard. Assuming I'm pretty sure you can put this outside, so I'll have to confirm that. But because the pictures show it inside, obviously, so I'm not going to sit here and say 100% that this is made for outside. But I think usually these animatronic figures are made for the outside. Hasbro, real quick. The gunship still creeps along. We are currently still not at the halfway point. We still got over 19 days to go, but right now this campaign is at 3,601. So 8,000 is the minimum for this one. So again, it continues to creep along. Now remember, this weekend, Canadian Fan Expo on Saturday, we've got a panel. Hasbro will be there with a panel for both Star Wars and Marvel. It's one panel with both brands. The HasLab should also be on hand there, the gunship. So if you didn't see it, like if you missed it at San Diego, and you're in Canada and you're going to this convention, you'll be able to see this in person. As far as reveals go, I don't have anything specific. I know for Star Wars, on the Star Wars side of things, the main focus is showing off the gunship, but they may have a few reveals. Marvel, I would assume they're going to have reveals. I would be hard to think they're going to go there and do something for Marvel without having any reveals. Usually at these Canadian conventions, they like to do Canadian-based characters. We know they've already been teasing the Maximum Series Deadpool figure, Canadian character. So with the dupe teaser at San Diego, so I feel like there's a good chance that that will be revealed officially this coming weekend. I don't know when it's going to go up for pre-order, though. I don't think it's going up for pre-order this month, but I think they'll probably officially show it this month and then probably go up for pre-order early next month. Now, I have heard some rumblings, and this is by far not confirmed, but I've heard some rumblings that we might see a price bump in the Maximum line. So hopefully that's not a true rumor, but again, I've been hearing that from some sources suggesting that the price on the Deadpool Maximum figure may be more than like the Spider-Man figure. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And I doubt, even if they do officially show Deadpool this weekend, I doubt they'll give us the price. Maybe they will. But but we'll have whatever's revealed, we'll have up on like Marvelous News and Jedi Insider this weekend. So hopefully you will check that out. And it's the panels at 11 a.m. and I checked same time. They're basically on Eastern time zone there. So it's essentially 11 a.m. Eastern time. So might not have, I'm not necessarily expecting them to stream to stream the panel or anything. So maybe a little bit after that before we actually, those of us who aren't actually at the convention, get wind of what's revealed. But again, Saturday I would expect at least one or two. There might be more than just Deadpool, but I don't know. I'm not expecting a ton of reveals. It's not going to be like a San Diego Comic-Con thing. So 1-2 things I would think at most that they might show off at the convention. And again, as far as Star Wars, whether they show off anything new or not, I don't know. Like I say, I think the main focus for Star Wars is promoting the HasLab, but we'll see. So again, this weekend, this Saturday, look for I would expect some news on the front. Now, speaking of Marvel and Hasbro, this week we did get a surprise reveal. If you caught my video on Monday, or you saw it on the site, or probably 50 other YouTube videos that went up on Monday about this, Amazon 2-pack featuring Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man, and a suited version of the Mandarin, which I know a lot of people were disappointed that it was a suited version and not more of his traditional look like Toy Biz did back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I'll be completely frank. This was a cash grab, easy figure for Hasbro to do with the suit. You got multiple hands. Some of the hands do have rings on them. I saw some people saying like he didn't have any rings. He does have rings. I don't think all the hands have rings, but you can see like these closed-fisted hands have the rings on. That one I don't think has rings, but I think there's 3 sets of hands, and I think at least 2 of the sets have rings on them. So, and you also get the little energy effects, and you get the 2 head sculpts. So, and then with Iron Man, you get that Stark head sculpt with the inner mask thing on, which they haven't done before, and then you get an extra pair of hands in the repulsor glass. But yeah, I passed on this set. I'll wait for a regular, more comic, super villainish man. I mean, this is comic book, and he did have the suit on for a while and stuff. So, but again, I'd rather have a more traditional looking Mandarin. So, I passed on this one, but I feel like, if they had done this as if they had just given us a single release of this Mandarin, I probably would have gotten it, but I really have no interest in this Iron Man figure. So I passed on this. It's $50, Amazon exclusive, went up yesterday. There was a little bit of a hiccup early when it first went up. But they got it fixed. Took about an hour. So last time I checked, it is still available. Supposed to ship on November 1st. So again, I'm not getting it myself. I'm not upset, it was an easy, like I say, easy thing for Hasbro to do. Throw in a figure that we've essentially already gotten, and then take a figure that didn't take a lot. I don't think required a lot of new tooling, and give us a set. But eventually, I'm sure we will get a more traditional Mandarin figure in the line. So, but that was the news from earlier this week, and again, that went up for pre-order yesterday. Pre-order today on Hasbro Pulse was that X-Men 97 2-pack with the brown costume Wolverine and the classic Storm. So this is our second X-Men 97 2-pack. The first one went up last week with the Rogue and Gambit playing basketball. Should be available to everybody now, and has not sold out. I didn't expect this to sell out. So that went up today. Again, Pulse exclusive. Now the third 2-pack that they showed off at San Diego, I imagine will go. They did not give a specific date for that one, but I imagine it will be sometime next week. So we'll have to keep an eye and ear out for see if Danyon gives us a specific date sometime, on social media. But I suspect that that third 2-pack with the Jean Grey and Cyclops will go up next week sometime. Also next week, and that will also be a Pulse exclusive. So this one, well, I again, they have not yet given a specific date, but I imagine it'll be sometime next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably. It would be my guess. But also next week, available everywhere, is that role play item, that Wolverine mask that they announced at Comic-Con. Gotta find it. Here we go. So this is going up next week as well. This will go up on the 26th. Again, this will be available Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. I think Amazon will have it as well. $100. So if you want to dress up like Wolverine, this is technically based on the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Yeah, and it does have. I believe it does include the little display space. Maybe not. I don't know if it does or not. It does include that stand. So if you want to just display it on your shelf, then you can do that. So that's definitely going up for pre-order next week. And then, like I say, I suspect that Cyclops Jean Grey 2-pack will go up on Pulse. For you 12-inch collectors, Mondo's teasing their Mr. Sinister. We again saw this at San Diego Comic-Con. So probably pre-order next week. We'll probably get more information either later this week or early next week. So stay tuned for that. Also, Mafex, Wolverine, and Deadpool from the movie. Deadpool will come with Dogpool. Have the gold guns. Have claws, like he wore, when he was taking pieces of Wolverine's body apart and using them. So this will be going up for pre-order probably any day now. So Deadpool, Dogpool, and then also Wolverine with the sleeves. And I guess the Wolverine figure does not have a mask, so at least based on these initial images that were released does not appear to come with a masthead. So I won't swear to that, but like I say, at least from what we're seeing initially on that one, no masthead. Also, while we're on the subject of Mafex, we're getting another Black Adam final boss, the Rock figure. Can't believe they're still trying to release figures from that movie, but this version, they did a Mafex version of Black Adam before, had the soft goods cloak. This one comes with a throne. So I think that's basically really the only difference is they've included this throne with it. So again, this should be going up for pre-order any day now. These are essentially this month's Mafex comic book based pre-orders. Hiya Toy fans, new Godzilla figure, 2002 Godzilla against Mechagodzilla Heat Ray version is available now at Big Bad Toy Store. Likely will go up soon at Entertainment Earth as well. So I believe we talked about this one before, but again, is now available for pre-order. So if you're into Hiya Toys and Godzilla, this is one you might want to check out. Also, going back to Mondo, this week we had that vinyl slash figure. $110 available. It's a timed pre-order, so you don't have to worry about shipping or selling out necessarily. But if you're into the soft vinyl stuff from Mondo, again, slash, we saw it at San Diego Comic-Con. These are the accessories. So again, up on the Mondo website now. Forget how big these guys are. Usually they include like an image with the measurements, but I'm not seeing it. So I mean, they're decent size, but they're not like 12-inch size. So. But they're in scale with the other soft vinyl figures that they've been doing. So if you've gotten those, then this should scale well with those. For you Star Trek fans, a new EXO-6 12-inch figure based on Strange New Worlds. Number 1, Una Chin Riley, originally in the original series pilot, was played by Gene Roddenberry's wife, who later went on to play Nurse Chapel. And this particular series, we have two actresses playing, but two different actresses playing those characters. But and now the actress's name is blanking on me, but it's the same actress who played Mystique in the original X-Men movies. So again, they crank out these 12-inch Star Trek figures quite a bit. For you Gem fans, we've talked about these, but they're now available. Originally, they went up on the Loyal Subjects website, but now you can get them at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and Amazon. If you are so into Gem stuff. Loose Collector has a new crypt, the Skookum. Say that 5 times fast. The Skookum figure, which is another Bigfoot type character. This is not, or yes, this is available for pre-order. You can get it at Big Bad Toy Store. $110 includes the tariff surcharge. So again, that's from Loose Collector, essentially a 1/12 scale type figure. Stands 10 inches though, because he's a big dude. We talked about the Garfield figures, the 2-packs and everything already, so don't see a need to go into that. So I think that pretty much brings us up to date, and we are over the hour. So let me just do a quick scan, see if you guys have any burning questions that I can maybe answer. Yes, Automaton E does have the pre-order for the Block E's Devastator Combiner Kit. So yes, you are correct on that. I don't think Big Bad Toy Store has listed it yet, but Entertainment Earth does have it. Lord Wanfu, good robot mode and gun that Starscream can hold is really all we need in a studio. Well, that I won't say that goes for everybody, because I'm not one who likes to sit around trying to transform my Transformers. I usually pick a mode that I like and then display them on the shelf like that. So that's what I will be doing with my Megatron, keeping him in robot mode. But some obviously I think some Transformer fans do like to be able to transform, and might want him in the gun mode. It's just, as Hasbro has said, legally they just cannot do that anymore. So anytime they do a Megatron, he's always going to be tank. And like I say, I think they did a good job for the most part keeping his robot mode in keeping with the cartoon, and then doing a fairly realistic looking tank. So I I have, I don't know, well, you can see it back there, but I have the original G2 Megatron toy Hasbro did, the camo, green, bright camo tank, which first appeared in the G.I. Joe comics. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's where that version originally came from. Megatron had gotten really badly damaged, and Cobra ended up redesigning him. Cobra basically changed him into the tank in the original Marvel comic run. Slash, yes. Did I say it was a time release? Okay, my bad. But it is still available, so it's been up for a couple days and has not sold out. So. Yes, thank you, Rebecca Romaine. That's how you say her last name, Romaine, right? But yes, she was also in the Punisher, the original, well, not the original Punisher movie, not the one from the 80s, but the first more modern Punisher movie that they did. She was in that one too. Hope NECA's Garfields will be cheaper. So yeah, the boss fight ones are what we said, $50. I don't know though if NECA's will really be cheaper. I guess we'll have to see. Maybe. Lord One for green and purple is yeah, not just green, neon green. That original Megatron is more of a neon green than just it's not like military green. It's like bright colored green and purple. But I like that toy. I don't know why, but I've always liked that toy. Pronounced Romaine. Okay, yeah. Trying to think what else she's been in, but original X-Men, Punisher, now Star Trek. Those are the main things I know her from. Oh yeah, you are correct. I didn't back that one, so I forgot about it. But yes, Comic Crack. For those of you who backed, you've probably gotten shipping notices. But those of you who backed the HasLab Cantina, was it last year? Yeah, that has started to ship out to folks who backed it in the United States. Yeah, in the what was it, early '90s, Hasbro started developing a real neon paint fetish with their toys. And most of them I can't stand, especially I can't stand any of those neon colored G.I. Joe toys. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because I like the story in the comics or what, but I've always liked that G2 Megatron. And that's the one back there that you see or kind of see. That's the original. I mean, that I've had that since it was originally. I think I bought it at a KB toy store. So I wasn't really actively collecting Transformer toys at that point anymore, but I ended up buying that one for whatever reason, and I've kept it ever since. That yes, the Librarians with what Noah Wiley, yeah, the TNT series. Yeah, I forgot she was in that. That was a pretty good series. All right, so I think we're gonna call it a day. We'll play it by ear. I don't know if I'll be back on. I may do. Depends on how much news there is between now and Friday. But if there's not like a lot of news, and honestly, I'm not really expecting much more in the way of news until maybe Saturday with the Canadian Expo thing. But maybe we'll do something for action figure enthusiast channel members on Friday. So might do something for that. So all you guys, names scrolling down there on the bottom. Big thank you for becoming channel members as always. And if you'd like to become a channel member, then hit that link in the video description below. But so we might do something on Friday. If there's if a lot of news ends up happening between now and Friday, then I'll just do a normal live stream. But if not, then I may do something special for you, you channel members only. So, but I think we are going to call it a day. As always, guys, it is much appreciated that you guys tune in. Stay safe out there. Definitely now more than ever. Stay safe out there. And just stalling to let all the names scroll by. So all you guys get your 5 seconds of fame. But yeah, I'm just trying to think if it's everything. So I've got a new ending. So I've updated the ending a little bit here. So when the video ends here, you can check that out. It was in I had it on Monday's video too. So you may have noticed I've been trying to make updates to the channel. A lot of cosmetic changes to the channel, updated graphics, that type of thing. So hopefully you've been liking that. And like I say, I do intend to try and do more content for action figure enthusiast members. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. But as always, guys, stay safe. And until next time. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,